Right, guys, welcome to Real Talk. Today, Greg and Michelle from Creek Road Designs is joining me for this session of Real Talk. So, what I ask is for everybody to be patient, be gracious. Understand that Greg and Michelle cannot see my chat, correct? Yeah, they cannot see my chat. So any questions that you ask over here that's pertinent to the conversation, the topic that we're on, we will go ahead and share. However, if you are on Greg and Michelle's side, just know that I can't see the questions. So at the end of the topic, before we change, we'll address any of the questions that are in the chat that we haven't already addressed, okay? Everybody on board with that? I'm making sure I mute my phone so that I don't get any odd alerts or whatnot. So we are ready to go. Hi, good morning. Welcome to Real Talk with Claudia from Claudia's Door Decor. And here is Greg and Michelle from Creek Road Designs. Thanks for joining me, guys. So let's start with an introduction. Location, where we can find you.
Well, I mean, we are in Memphis, Texas, but online you can find our Etsy store at Creek Road Design CX. We have a Shopify store as well that we're working with. That is Creek Road.
Yeah, we're struggling to hear you on this side, Greg.
Are you? Oh,
Yeah, I don't know if it's a matter of turning up the like where is your microphone? Is it on your on your computer? Because if it is, you can turn up the volume on your mic.
it's on my phone. Let me.
Wait a second, talk again.
Can you hear me now?
Is it better, guys? Because it's better for me.
Do we just
Just
need
let
to?
me know.
Do we just need to speak up?
That might work. Yeah, it's a little better. Yes, much better. Okay. All right, let's continue. So we can find you on Etsy.
You can find us on Etsy. You can find us at our Shopify store, creekroad.net. Uh, that's under construction right now, but we try to do our best to manage both. At the beginning of the year, you're going to probably see us a little bit more on the website. We're reopening it after the first of the year. So that's where you can find us now. Or in a craft show in the Houston area, you can find us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. So that's where you can find it.
All right. So, next question is your background. How did you get started in the wreath business?
Well, in 2021, I had a friend who shared a post on Facebook of someone making wreath live. This person was local to me, and he would go live almost every day and make a wreath and sell it. And I was just amazed. I was like, wow, that is amazing to me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to buy some supplies and I'm going to try and make a wreath. And I made my first wreath and it looked okay. It wasn't the best, but I kept on and I made some more and I made some more. And then I'm going to have Greg tell you the part about when I told him I wanted to open a business.
Yeah, that's when it got real, guys. So and we still have her first wreath hanging right over here, by the way. And it doesn't look like it does now, obviously, but if you grow your craft. But I remember it was right after that she had come to me and she said, Greg, I want to start a business. I said, okay, well, what do you want to do? She says, well, I want to make wreaths. I said, well, is there a market for that? Oh, yeah, there's a big market. And so she goes, I want to ask a favor. And I said, what is it? She said, well, I want my stimulus money at the time because COVID hit. And I said, well, sure. How much you need? She goes, well, I need yours too. and so that's how it all started. And I said, well, that's what it's for. It's to build, start building something, use it for something other than going to buy a TV or stuff like that, we were fortunate enough to not be stricken by COVID for a while. And obviously, she had an idea. And I could tell she was really into it. She was really excited about it. I've never really seen that spark about something connected with it. For some reason, stuck with it. So that's how the dream began with the whole Wreath endeavor.
Okay, so that's her wreath business that got started, right? How did you get involved, Greg? Because you're the sign maker, the presser, the sign maker, right?
Yeah, that's true. True. So the way it began was kind of happenstance. So as far as the wreath business, let me step back a little bit before even the wreath business started. We were I would set up the show for her. Obviously grid walls not light. The amount of wreaths we had to transport over there weren't a few of them. It was quite a bit. But I remember for her very first gift show, she had signed up for show. It was a 1 day show. We were outdoors under an awning, and she said, "Gosh, man, I really hope someone buys one. I really hope that someone buys one of my wreaths." And that anxiousness that every wreath maker has, and so she ended up selling 11 that day, and it was an amazing event. And I was like, "Wow, there really is a market for this." And so she said, "I'm going to sign up to see if I can find any other shows to do." And so that's how it started. And before you know it, by December, I was working the booth with her. I would go in there, we'd set up for the show, and everything would work out perfectly in hindsight. And then I start listening to customers and talking to them and kind of figuring out what they're looking for and how they're needing. And I'm a natural salesman, if you can't tell already. But that's what I do for a daily living. I've been in sales a lot of my life. I've been in manufacturing for the last 18 years. But everything we do in our regular day of life is sales. So it only felt natural to talk to customers and go live on YouTube or the Tiki Copy or FB or whatever. But that's how I got it.
But it truly started because it was busy season, or we were coming up on the busy season. And I knew that the year before I would sell out of certain things, and I wanted to remake them. And I was waiting on my signs from all these other wonderful sign makers, but during busy time, it could take up to 2 weeks. I didn't have 2 weeks. My next show was in a week. So I said, I think we need to look into printing our own signs, just for our own benefit, not to sell to other people.
And that's how she got it. That was it. After that.
But see, that's smart, right? That's smart. She saw a need for herself, for her business to be successful, to have a better turnaround for herself. And she's just like, well, we can do that. We can do that. But then, okay, so that was a need to fill a need. And then you saw that there was also a need for that in the community. So how did you end up switching from Michelle being, this is for me, just for me, we're not doing it for anybody else, selling to other people? Because it is different. Making for yourself and making for others is a completely different ball game. So when did that decision come to play where you're just like, okay, I can make this in mass amounts?
Well, it never started. It never started off in mass amounts. So the way that happened, and I remember, it was like it was yesterday, December 30th of last year. We were done for the year. We were on vacation. We had the Shopify store. We've had some success with it, but near the success we've had on Etsy. And I think I told Michelle, I said, you know what? I said, I think I want to start a Etsy store, and I think we can do pretty good at it. And so I opened it. just on a whim, and we had not, really dove into it, mass production or anything like that. And it's like, I remember when our first sale came in, and it was, you see all your numbers come in, and how many views you get, and the first one comes in, hey, we sold a sign.
I remember the sign too.
Yeah, we did.
It was a Valentine sign, and it was the hot air balloon one. I will remember that day forever.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was
How long? Okay, but how long did you have your Etsy store open before that one sale came through?
it was days. It was 2 or 3 days, but
Okay. We're gonna leave that there because we're gonna touch on that later. So remember, she remembers the sign. They were on Etsy for 2 to 3 days before they got their first sale. So we're gonna pin that to discuss that later. Okay. So go ahead. So you get the first sale. You keep going.
So we get the first sale, and we're like, okay, well, maybe, we're we can get out there and do a few more. And as you're adding new signs, you throw some stuff out there, people start looking and start doing, well, then, we're concentrating. Now, keep in mind, this is December 30th, January. We're already late to the game for Valentine's.
Of what year?
Of last year.
So this is just of 2022. So the end of 2022.
Correct.
December 22.
Okay.
The end of
Okay.
Yeah, so we're playing catch up. We've played catch up in the sign business the whole year long. I mean, truthfully, because we're just, and we would add and add and add, and try and get as many out there as we could, while doing a day job, and building the building, and all that good stuff. So it was really a challenge this last year, and we worked hard at it. But that's kind of what we did. We learned by fire.
So somebody made a comment that said that somebody made a comment on this side that says it's expensive to purchase all of that equipment just for yourself.
Well, I'll say, I know we're going to talk about this later, but we do about over 20 shows a year. So to me, it was an investment in my business, and it was going to make me more profitable and able to do more things. So not everyone will be able to do that, but I had a way to, I had a source that I needed to fill a void that I needed the signs. I needed to be able to make my own signs. I needed to make signs that match my ribbon.
I love that. We'll touch on that too. Okay, so far we've talked about how you guys got started in the wreath business, how you transitioned into signs out of a need for Michelle. Michelle saw a need and wanted to be able to create and do the things that she wanted to do that she saw were important, okay? So where did you learn about sublimation? Like, where did that, because I know that was, okay, he's laughing, but I know that that's part of it, right? So part of it is, where do you get the equipment? What equipment do you need? What kind of signs do you want to make? Because there's the ones that are on the MDF, right? That's MDF board, and then the metal signs. So the decision on doing that. So talk to us about that stuff.
So of course, again, it's all learning by fire. The equipment itself, we looked on the tube. I did some research on which printers people use to sublimate, which signs they like to do it. Michelle does both MDF and regular signs. She's done mostly aluminum with some MDF. She has some preferred MDF signs she really likes to use, and so. But when you're looking to buy the equipment, the equipment, we didn't start off with the best printer. We didn't start off with, we were just doing it for ourselves. So we bought a small printer that worked really well. I learned how to I watched one video on kind of some hints because you got, when you're doing a sign, you kind of make the image a little bit larger. So when you place the blank down, you don't get any white edges, or you don't miss the image on the sign. So it was a learning process. I mean, we learned on the go, truly on the go. Last year we were printing signs probably August of last year just for her reason, and it was learning as you go. Heck, I'm still learning. I mean, it truthfully, when you have to, make new images or you have to do an order, I mean, you learn by fire and just, just do your best. I mean, we started off with a small printer, bought some blanks because at that time we were only doing 10" and 11 3/4. It wasn't until we got on Etsy and I said, maybe we should do different sizes to really put a good blend out there for the people and see what they want, and that's helped. So you don't have to start off with the best equipment. You don't have to. I mean, it's kind of like wreath making. You don't go out and buy all kinds of mesh and ribbon and all that. You build one and you move on to the next, and you build it as you go. That's kind of what we did with the sign.
Did you have any design background? Like, did you know that you have to have a certain amount of bleed? And people that don't know what I'm talking about, that's part of it, guys, is when you're creating art to be printed, you have to understand certain terms that for some of us is like, what the heck does that mean?
Yeah. So as far as artwork design, no, honestly, to be honest with you, a lot of our designs that we build ourselves, we buy images, we have them made that we use. We work with artists that we license and we have contracts with that some of the artworks that we publish. So we don't do all our artwork. The ones that we do, we actually sit here together. And because Michelle has a very keen eye for color that I don't have. And even when it comes down to the font that you use, what color font, what font you use with this image and this background and put the clip art in and you mix it up and change colors, whatever it is. But sometimes she'll sit there and say, you need to change it just a little bit lighter, you need to change it a little bit darker, or move the font up a little bit. She has a very keen eye for what she has in her mind. Her design is usually a winner, even though I don't think so sometimes, because I give her honest truth. I give her honest feedback that she probably doesn't always want to hear, but I leave it
But
off.
neither one of us have any kind of design background.
No.
This is all just it's natural.
Yeah, it is true because I design stuff at work, but it's mostly foundations and pumps and motors that no one really knows about, and so that kind of design is way different than artistic design. So yeah, we had no previous experience with that.
I have a couple of things that came up in my chat. Michelle from Timber and Tool, it's Michelle, said, I would love to work with them and the artwork. So that's an artist that wants to work with you guys in the artwork. So that's good to know. It's Michelle from Timber and Tool. Michelle, I think you can go ahead and message them after we're done with this and let them know that you were the person that said that. And then Nicole on this side says, I have a sublimation printer and heat press. Is there anything else I would need to make a sign?
Well, you definitely need the blanks, and you'll definitely need the transfer paper. You'll definitely need tape to tape the blank down, and make sure that you have a good press. I mean, the press itself needs to be able to get to about 380 to 400 degrees, depending on the blank that you use. See, that's the other thing. There's so many different blanks that, there's domestic blanks, there's foreign blanks in from China, we've tried them both, and we found a supplier that just is, has the best blanks, and that's the ones we stuck with, and they're all American made. So,
Would you say that, hold on a second, Greg, I'm stopping you because all of those things are very confusing to people that don't do that. So you said that it's trial and error for you, but is there somewhere that you can send people, like, is there a person or something like on the tube that they could go watch to learn that? I mean, could they just put it in, type in, and say, hey, I want to learn how to do this, show me, and it'll show them the basics?
Yeah, so I mean, you can go to the tube and you can type in sublimation sign or sublimation aluminum sign and see what pops up. I don't know how I come across this one video where they actually showed how to place the blank down on the paper. You know, tape it down, kind of to make sure there's enough space around your bleed line, and so that way you can because you don't want it to shift either way up or down. You want to make sure it's perfectly in the center. And I'm pretty I, I like the detail to be, even when it comes to the grain of the metal to be up and down when I'm printing. So I'm very specific about how I like the sign. So, but you can search it. I mean, there's article after article about sublimation and what kind of printer, what kind of paper. Paper is a big thing. You know, how many grains the paper has determines how much ink really goes into the paper. So there's a lot
That's
of
a lot of detail, but your signs stand out because of that.
Well, I hope so.
They do. No, honestly, they do. Your signs do stand out because of that. Now, are you going to be selling blanks? Are you ever going to consider selling the blanks?
That's a hard question, and I say that because I thought about it. I really did, and the hard part about any business online, whether it be Shopify, Etsy, or your own specific website, is shipping. Cost of shipping. What customers are willing to pay. How can I get the inventory down enough to where I can make a little bit of on profit and still not be too much for the customer to go buy from somebody else. It's something that I actually had talked to Michelle about that right when we had started, really getting busy. I said, maybe we should start selling the blank. But right now, with what we're trying to do with our business, it may fit in later down the way. Who knows?
Well, the reason why I ask is because somebody in my side of the chat asked, "Can you share where you get your blanks?"
Yeah, we've bought some from Decor Exchange. What's the one in Florida? Digital Graphics. That's basically the two places that there's Condi online that you can buy them from. There's different companies that sell them. It really just depends on who has what you're looking for and the one you decide. The ones that
I do know that John, the crafty tech guy, started selling blanks.
yeah.
So I do know that. So that is somebody that's in the community that is selling blanks. All right. So before we go into my next question, is there any questions on your side that you feel you need to address based on this conversation? No, you guys are good? All right, Michelle, by the way, I'm sharing this from me, but I know that the community feels the same way. We love that your signs match the ribbon. Just saying. We kind of wish it was the other way around too. Like people that have signs would actually create ribbon to match the sign. So it goes both ways, right? All right. So we learned that they that Michelle started in 2021. We learned that 2022 was the year that they decided they needed to make signs for Michelle. And basically 2023 has been basically a rockin' year for Creek Road Designs as far as like in all areas. So we're going to jump into shows. Craft shows, gift market shows. There's a difference, right? So, yeah, there is a difference. So, Michelle, the type of shows that you do, because you said you do 20 shows a year. Okay, so how many years have you done 20 shows a year?
2023.
Well, but we did 20 shows the year before, and we did 22 or 23 this year.
Yeah, I think we were just 21 or 22 this year. The previous year was 20, and then the 21 would have been right when we started in October. We didn't do that.
Okay.
Maybe 5, because that was the October through December.
Okay. So let's talk about the process of picking shows, because there's obviously there's shows, there's lots of shows, right? How do you get into like a gift show? Because I know that you're brand new. Like, how did you get into these shows being a newbie?
Luck.
What?
Truthfully, luck.
Okay.
That's true.
That's true. I reached out to a promoter, and it was going to be for a really big show in Katy, Texas, and she put me on the wait list. About 2 weeks later, she emailed me and said, I have a 10 by 20 booth that opened up. Do you want it? Of course I want it. Of course I do. And that's how it all began. And frankly, she's one of the better promoters in the Houston area, if not the best. And we do a majority of her shows. So you have to find someone in your area that is a good promoter, and it's going to be different for everyone. Like, I do have some other people that I work with that primarily it's this one promoter, and she primarily does gift markets. She does have a few that she considers craft shows, but primarily they're gift markets. So the people are coming to buy.
So they're already like card in hand, ready to shop. That's the type of shows that you participate in. Okay, so I have a few obviously mixed feelings on this side because different markets. Right? So the market in Texas is different from a market in, let's say, New Hampshire, like somebody said. The scale of the markets are different. And then somebody else said something about to focus on fall and Christmas and not really worry about the other seasons because the other seasons aren't, there's not as many buyers. Is that correct?
Well, I will say this. We do maybe 5 shows in the spring. And of those 5 shows, I will say it sets the stage for the customer coming back to you in the fall. So they're going to ask you, where can I find you in October to buy my Christmas wreath? So I think it's important, if you really want to do this, to stay relevant all year. So to keep your name out there in the gift market circuit, I think it's important to stay there all throughout the year. I'm not saying to go heavy in the spring, because we don't, but to definitely stay relevant with your customers that you've already established. Because we have people come back to us every season.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, but listen, guys, I want everybody in both these chats to listen. Okay? She has customers that come back every season. So when you think, oh, once you have a customer, they buy one thing for that season and that'll be the last time that they hear from you, that's not true. That's not true.
And they buy gifts for people.
Yep. And they send people to you, right? They bring people with them and all of those things, right? I've actually seen that in what I thought was too small of a community. But I had several people that came to see me this year that said, I'm so glad you're here because I remember you from last year.
Well, and keep in mind, we're definitely not telling you to go get a 10 by 20 booth in the spring. And I think the rule of thumb that Michelle kind of goes by are any month that end with J. Start with J. We don't do shows.
They're not really good for crafters.
Yeah.
January,
Okay.
July. In Texas,
Months that start with J, stay away. Okay, months that start with J, stay away. Got it. Okay, so talking about booth size, okay? How do you decide if like you can only afford a 10 by 10 space? This is somebody that's doing it brand new. You know, they're trying to get into shows. They can only afford, like, it only makes sense for them to do a 10 by 10 space. Because let's say they decided that if they sell one wreath, that'll be successful because that'll cover the booth space, right? So how do you decide, like, how big you want your space?
I'll answer. I'll start the. So, number one is don't do anything that you can't afford. You don't want to go over. If you're just starting out, and you want to try, because again, we don't know that you don't know that you're gonna, some people get into it and then they say, well, maybe it wasn't for me, and maybe the show market is not for me. Start with what you're comfortable with. But when you have a 10 by 10 and you're restricted to 10 by 10, the thing that I've noticed, being the husband at the show, because I usually stand back and kind of watch and listen to what people are saying. That's the most important part, is listen to what they're saying, because they're going to tell you what they want. They've got a story they want to tell you. And oh, well, I like this, but I wish, my house is this color. Make it to where you're inviting into the booth. Don't close everything off, because some people won't come in if they don't feel they have to get past you to get in. Make it as inviting as possible, and put everything up where they can see it. When people come, they don't want to be looking down or kind of, ducking down to see what the sign says. Make it presentable. If you're inside or even outside, have good lighting as much as possible, because the colors in the wreath stand out. That's very important. That a lot, even the gift markets that are inside that have lighting inside, it's still not good lighting. Lighting is very important. So stand out, that make sure that the customer gets to see it, but do what you're comfortable with, and start from there. And then if you have the chance to move up to maybe a 10 by 15, then start there and see, because the more options that you have, let's just say you go to in a 10 by 10, you're able to bring in 20 wreaths. You have 20 opportunities and 20 doors to hit, and you gotta hope that one person is there to buy that exact wreath for that door. So you got 20 opportunities to pick the right thing, and sometimes you don't. We don't. So the more options that you have, so number one, show what kind of work you make, show your detail in your style of wreath. Those things are important for everyone. So,
but I will say, if you do a 10 by 10, if you were able to get on a corner, that's going to be better for you. If you want to leave that corner open, it allows traffic to come in, and you could put a triangle on the corner and still display wreath. But if you're closing off your 10 by 10 and it's not inviting people, there's something about that threshold that doesn't cross over. So if you're able to get a corner, which is the easiest thing. Oh!
I feel you.
I always try to
Never fails. I'm so sorry. She decided she wanted to be on camera.
Real talk.
It's real talk. It's real life, right? Okay, so what makes a show successful to you? Like, what is a successful show to you?
That's a hard question, because that's different. For everyone. And I'll say it for us. Number one is where we make our booth, and we show a good flow of traffic, and we bring home some profit. Not every show is not every show is like that. Trust me. There's some shows where we haven't sold one, and that's going to happen.
Zero.
And we're frustrated. We're wondering, did we pick the right things, or were we at the right? It wasn't our customer, and it may not be your customer at that event. And those are the things you're going to have to take into account when you do shows. Where are you having the show? What's the price point? What is the cost of the booth? Is it a $25 craft show that you're set up in a gym, where it's a fundraiser for a school or something like that? That's different from someone who's running a gift market, a jury show, where they only allow a certain number of wreath makers in, because you don't want 6 or 7 wreath makers in there, because then you're splitting up all the doors. Every person that walks through has a door that you want to try and get that wreath on, and you want to be the one that they pick. They may not pick it. So that's important.
And you need to look at the history of the show. How long have they been doing the show? How many attendees on average do they have come through the show? Those are all things that a good promoter can answer for you. And those are things you need to look at when you're picking the show.
And we're not blind to the fact that we live in a big metropolitan area. You know, we have opportunities that other wreath makers don't have based upon where they're located. But if it's something that you start off with and you have people that really just like your work and you feel passionate about it, explore a little bit. You know, maybe try one in a bigger city because people, you know, we travel. We don't even. There's no one in Manville that we target for our wreath. You know, it's where the gift markets are in the areas where people are bigger shoppers, bigger areas. So look for those opportunities in your area. You know, Manville, Texas is not the hub for for wreath making. Trust me when I say that. So
Right, and that makes sense, right? So you have to look for those opportunities, those bigger areas where people are shopping because I know for a fact that before I started making wreaths, I already knew in my head what I was looking for. Like I already knew when I was going to whatever show, market, whatever I was going to. I already had in mind this is what I'm looking for. This is what I want to find. So, do you guys do anything with custom orders during your shows? Do you take custom orders? Do you have opportunities for that?
Um, Sometimes it's hard during the busy season because of the amount of shows that we do. So, but if I have someone who really wants something special, I'll work with them. But it's not something I really advertise because of the time frame release.
you know, the hard part about customs, whether it be a wreath or a sign, the hard part about customs is that we're trying to get every thought that person wants that has that vision. You know, everyone has a vision of what they want on their door, their colors, or where it's going to go, and how it's going to look, and everything. So pulling that information out of someone takes time, and you know sometimes we don't have that time. Even when it comes down to signs, you know, it's hey, can you do this custom sign and put it in this background and all that stuff? And, you know, well, what kind of font do you want? What colors do you want? And you want this image. There's a million, you know, fish on a pond out there, you know, whatever it is, a Santa. You know, I want a Santa with a green background and all that. That's great, but what are you looking to do? What kind of font do you want? Do you want to say anything? And all that takes time, especially during the busy season. And that's kind of why we had stopped doing a lot of the customs during our busy season because we were doing shows left and right, and we were still running the Etsy store. So it was really difficult, a difficult balance for us. So we managed, and we were able to make it happen. But you know, she does get people come and say, "Hey, can you do a custom wreath for us?" That you know, we had a customer come in that he wanted to buy his wife who had passed, but wanted to put out at her gravesite.
Mhm.
You know, those type of things we'll do. I mean, we'll say, yeah, we can make you something, and give me a couple weeks. You know, and it's most of the time they say, great, no problem.
That's why we love you guys is because you do those things. You put more pressure on yourselves to the sentimental part. You guys are very sentimental as far as I'm concerned. My experience with you guys has been that you guys really have a lot of heart and you can see that in your business in the way that you do things. So when you go to a show, several of the wreath makers that I actually have in my area are always told to take items that are in several different price ranges. So offer something smaller because somebody may want to support you, but maybe the budget isn't there for them to buy a wreath from you. What is your advice on that?
That's something I need to do.
Understood.
I actually offer two sizes of wreath. So I have a smaller wreath that's a lower price point, and then I have a large wreath, which I call Texas size, that
Okay.
that's a little bit more expensive. But I need to have some offerings of some smaller things for people, and that's something we're working on for 2024.
Okay. All right. So that's something that, is in that bucket over there on the 2024, which is right around the corner, guys, right around the corner. All right. So what would you say is the good part of doing a show, and then obviously give what the not so good part of doing a show is?
Oh.
You can just touch. Okay, well, let me keep asking you questions, because this was my first year actually that I felt I knew what the heck I was doing at a show. Where last year I was just basically winging it. So the things, how do you transport your items? Like, how do you transport your wreaths? Because as we know, with mesh sticks to each other. So you can't necessarily just stack wreaths on top of each other. That doesn't work. But how do you transport your items?
So the way that we do it, obviously we have a box trailer that we use because we generally will get a 10 by 20 booth, but the way we transport it is we get a plastic hanger, cheap plastic hanger, and from Walmart you go buy a box load of them, and then we hook it through the back of the frame and hang it from a rod that goes across our trailer.
Well, we wrap it in a plastic.
Well, yeah, and we wrap it in a plastic bag.
So the mesh doesn't stick.
And that's how we sell it. So that way the customer, we take the plastic off when we get to the show, display them, and when they purchase it, we put it with the hanger and put the plastic bag over it. So number one, it gives them someplace to store it, as well as someplace to carry it. 100 times,
Smart.
yeah, 100 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, when we're at a craft show, we always offer to hold the wreath for the customer while they shop. No one wants to be lugging around a wreath, So say, are you still shopping? Yeah. Do you want us to hold it for you? Yeah, no, we're done shopping. Or yeah, for sure. Can you hold it? Yeah, for sure. Well, my name is this. We know exactly who bought it and when it happened. So if we've never had one left behind yet.
But I will say the reason we use a clear plastic bag is for the people who are shopping, who want to go ahead and take it, are advertising you as they walk around the show.
Absolutely. I've learned that. I've learned that one.
They don't want to send it.
Right. So somebody asked, where do you get resized plastic bags?
Okay, I buy mine from Costco, and they are. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna go get the box.
Yeah. We're gonna show
She's
you.
going to give you exactly the information that you're looking for to get resized plastic bags. That's awesome, Michelle. Thank you for that. Greg, business cards, yay or nay?
Oh, absolutely. This is
All right, there they are, guys. What size are they? 45 gallon?
45 gallon.
Okay, so 45 gallon plastic bags found at Costco.
Yeah.
But we do attach our business card to every wreath. Depends the price.
Okay, so you do what I do. I make it a tag and put it on the wreath in the back. Yeah. So that is always, guys. You want people to be able to come back, shop with you, find you, know where they got their wreath from, right? So always have a business card with your information. So did you guys get a chance to think about the good and the bad, or the good and the not so good?
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the good part is, and I'll be honest with you, the shows that we do, that you see some of the same vendors there that you become friends with. Number one, it gives you an opportunity to build your business, build relationships that other vendors that maybe even in the same business, other wreath makers. When I go around, sometimes I'll go live. In some of the shows we can't because the school district is part of the building, and so they've cut off the tiki-taki off their Wi-Fi, so we get poor reception throughout the building. Or else I'd be live almost every time. But I show everything that we do there. And whether it's another wreath maker, whether they're competitive, we're friendly competitors with most everyone that we deal with. So don't be scared to come up and talk to a competitor, because you're gonna find relationships you never thought you had. And so, they may give you an idea that, hey, I didn't even think about doing that. So that's the good part about it. The relationship, the good shows that really build your brand. Your brand is very important. Uh, the bad part, I guess, that would obviously be is you don't always win at the show. When you we live in a tough economy right now. You're facing your business on the number of sales that you make and how much you spend on the booth, your supplies, your time. It can get kind of daunting on you, and you feel like you didn't have a good show and you didn't succeed, and maybe even it's not meant for you. You know, don't put it past yourself to keep trying and succeed, because it doesn't come overnight. You gotta keep trying. Push your brand. Push your brand. Every time you get, Facebook, TikTok, or whatever, push your brand. You know.
But we do have some shows that we did this past year that we're not going to return to, because we stepped back and we looked and we decided, you know what? Either that's not my customer, they didn't advertise it right. It could be a lot of factors, but we usually always give an event or a show at least 2 chances. So if we've been there twice and we still feel that way, then we make some hard decisions.
Well, and that's fair, right? That's fair, because you're adjusting your business to not only what works for your business, but really honing in on who your customer is and figuring that out. And that's the same for everybody. Everybody's got to figure out who their customer is. I have a question over on my side that says, do you feel that smaller items, as in ornaments, take away from people buying bigger items?
No.
Yeah, I found the same thing.
Yeah. No, because here's the thing is the smaller items are going to be there's just another price point that gives you a little more interest and brings them into your store. They may not be a Wreath customer in the first place. They may just be looking for something. So give them that opportunity to make your choice. If you're going to sell the Wreath, you're going to sell it. If you're not, this wasn't meant to be. So don't shy away. I kind of thought that whenever we were at these last shows. I thought, we offered some picks, we offered some other ribbon. Is it going to take away from our retail? Because that's what we didn't want to do, and it didn't.
If anything, it enhanced. It brought more people into our booth.
For sure.
That maybe normally wouldn't have come in if they didn't want to read.
And that's what I found as well.
Yeah, because here's the thing that a lot of people, when you're listening to your customer, and it's around the busy season, you got the fall and especially Christmas that you're really focusing on. The people that are looking for Wreath, they still haven't figured out, in their head, hey, my husband hasn't brought down the Wreath, or I just threw it back in there because Christmas is over. I just want to get rid of it. I'll worry about it next year. Once they bring it down and see that it's in bad shape, oh man, I need a Wreath. There's a gift shop that way. I got to go get it. So that's why these gift markets are so important. Having that, maybe they don't need a big Wreath. Maybe they're the kids are out of town. Maybe that they're grandkids now. But grandparents are always looking to start buying new stuff again because they want it to be special for the grandkids. Those are the things you hear at these gift markets. Take close attention to what you hear.
And the other question I have on this side was, do you have a wholesaler you work with? Like specifically, like a specific wholesaler you work with?
We go to Dallas.
It's okay. It's give them a second, because they have the same problem I have. If a call comes through, you can't hear them. So just give it 1 second. It happens. It happens. It's good. Real talk.
Okay, so back to the wholesaler question. We travel to Dallas Market twice a year in January and in June, and that's when we go to all the floors there and we buy stuff wholesale.
All right, Nicole, did that answer your question? I think that answered their question. They go to the Dallas market. It got really quiet there for a second, Michelle. That's why I'm repeating you. All right, we're good. We're good. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So, is there any questions that have come up on your side based on the conversation we're having?
Wait, let me see here. Hold on, let's see. Opportunity to point out coordinating things and up. Yeah, that's a very good point. So I've it gives you a chance when you have other items that's smaller, is even the smaller wreath. You take maybe take a centerpiece, that gives them an opportunity. Hey, this is in my price range, and it allows them to show you the type of work that they do, and the type of material that you use. So it definitely is a good option. But I know any opportunity I get to help a wreath maker, I'll do it.
All right, so you talked about and mentioned being at craft shows where there are other wreath makers, and in essence, are your competition for that customer for their door. So let's segue into talking about competition in all aspects of your business. How does being at shows where there are other wreath makers, are you one to approach other people? Have other people approached you? Like, how do you handle that?
Well, like other wreath makers. So like, do we go up to them? Do they come up with us? How do we approach to get to know those wreath makers? I mean, I think honestly, I'm not short of words with people. I like to talk to people. I do. Because the good thing about going to a gift market, you get to shop them too. And most of the stuff, some of these shows that we do have a opening night preview party that you can go in early and pay a little bit more so you get to buy some of the first things. And we get do that for free before the show even opens. So
Nice.
so those are the things. But when it comes to competition, you're not just in keep in mind you're not just in competition with a wreath. You're in competition with a door hanger, a door leaner. All those people are buying for a front door, a front area. If they're doing floor mats or doormats, those are all competition. And when it comes to wreath making, everyone has their own style. I mean, there might be one that's close to what you do, or may have the same sign that you use on a wreath, but everyone's style is so unique. I mean that it's up to the customer to decide what they really want. And if you're not, if you have a good price and a good product, and you market yourself well, and you sell your business, that's how you need to do it. But when it comes to competition, I mean, it brings out the best for everyone. I mean, we have some shows. There's one show we did last year, this year, that had 5 wreath makers. Was it our best show? No.
100 vendors and 5 wreath makers. That's a lot.
That's a lot. So we those are the ones you have to decide, is it worth going back to? And are those the ones that have my custom? But even a little bit of marketing and get your business out there worth a little. People might take the card. Uh, People might take the card. Might not have known you were even had a business. Oh, I live in your area. I'm close to you. My brother lives down there. Whatever. So it's every opportunity to get out there and advertise your business. So competition is not a bad thing.
How do you feel about people taking pictures?
All day long. Oh, yeah, we don't care.
We don't
Yeah, I mean, how many times I almost so one of our best wreaths that Michelle makes is Welcome to the City, and people love that wreath for some reason because everyone relates to it. And the thing is a lot, I almost quit selling the wreath because I just take pictures with it and charge $1. And truthfully, it's that much of a. I mean, we have parties that come take pictures with that wreath. But yeah, take pictures all day long. You're not gonna share it.
My thing is this: is that if they take a picture and they send it to their mom or their friend, and their friend says, "Go buy that for me," then it was worth it.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It doesn't matter to me.
We have a lot of people shop via FaceTime in our booth, and so it doesn't matter to us whether you take pictures. If you want to pursue it and take the design and make it your own, go for it. I mean, that's flattering to us.
Right, so that you don't feel that is, so the way that I think about it, so let me see if I'm on the right path here. The way I think about it is if they're taking a picture of it, there's already a like factor. It's already, you like it, right? You like that wreath. Um, if they go copy it and they're able to do that, that's like you said, it's flattering. However, I have found that 9 out of 10 times it's because that wreath made them think of somebody and they're sending it to that person. That's what I have found 9 times out of 10. Or they take a picture of it because they want to take it home and see if they have a spot for it.
Well,
Right?
Also, if I kind of get a feel for them that they're wreath maker, I say take my card because I sell the sign in my Etsy.
Okay.
We
We'll get there, Michelle. We're going to talk about that later. But yes, that's smart. That's smart. That's also creating more business.
But you have to get a feel. Like I don't tell everyone that. You have to get a feel for: are they a wreath maker? Are they going to try and recreate this? Are they a crafter? Like you have to judge their body language and stuff. You can kind of tell sometimes.
Have you ever had a negative situation happen during your craft show where you had to turn that negative into a positive, regardless of like what it's about? Have you ever had somebody just be negative during, like, you have to show face, because the same thing happens online, guys. When you're live and people are in your comments, rude things, negative things happen, but the same thing can happen in person. the sa-
even worse. I
I
mean,
don't really think it's hard.
we haven't really had but obviously there's probably an opportunity for where maybe we were at a show where we had a customer turn their nose up at the shit show one. But it's about as negative as it really gets because I don't let negative energy bring me down. I don't really. I'm the most positive person you're probably ever going to meet because no one's going to dictate what I do or how I'm going to run the business or Michelle's going to run the business or whatever we're going to do because you are what you make it. And if you're always negative, bringing negative stuff in, and people bring you down, I mean, don't let them bring you down. I mean, I'm sure as we go online more and go live and stuff like that, we're going to see the online stuff. But in the real life gift market, I mean, they may balk at your price, but
that's what I was getting at. Right there is what I was getting at. The price thing. How dare you charge this much?
well, you know what? They'll make you. Now, and that's the truth. I mean, the truth is, I know how many hours that Michelle puts into wreath making, and all you ladies, I'm live with y'all all the time. I mean, I might stand in the background and not saying too much, but I'll throw a comment out there just to let you know I'm there. But we when we're printing our signs at night, which most of it happens in the evening, we're listening to y'all online because we enjoy it. I mean, I learned just as much from y'all as hopefully y'all will from us. And that's what this whole thing's about. It's not because we want to do anything different. It's that's what we do. We support the wreath makers and listen to what they're doing. Hey, that'd be a good idea for a collaboration.
I'm about to say they're listening to us too, guys. Do you hear it? Because they listen to what the customer is looking for. Because we're their customer too.
I will say, Claudia, that over the years that we've done all of these shows, you have to listen. Maybe a customer comes in and you don't have what they want. And you think to yourself, can I offer that next time? Is it something I can put in my wheelhouse that will sell? I'm not going to make it specifically if it's off the wall, but is it something general enough that other people would like it? And if the answer is yes, we add it to our rotation of items we do.
And has that worked? It's been successful, right? It works.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So competition, we touched it and basically said, basically we see it as collaboration more than competition is what I'm hearing. I see it as a community. You see it as a community. You know that iron sharpens iron, that it can only make us better together. And I mean, for me, and I know it's similar for you guys, I'm my own competition. I want to be better next year than I am this year, right? So that's how you keep growing and everything else. Does anybody have any questions right now based on the competition aspect or anything that you didn't ask before on the business aspect? Somebody had asked what the difference is between a craft show is and a gift show.
Well, a craft show, in my opinion, is someone that does handmade items, that has a craft that they're trying to market, be it a wreath, a quilt that they sew, hats that they make, something like that. It's your craft. It's definitely handmade or other decorative items that you want to do. A gift market, in our opinion, is something that it can be handmade, but you can also buy it. I mean, there's at our gift market, there are distributors. There's artistry, Scentsy, other books that are a group of books, and there's a lot of handmade stuff. There's nuts that guys they sell their mixes of soup and stuff. Guys that do their own salsa. It's stuff that they do make, but it's not. It's more of a gift item in a lot of aspects. Clothing, jewelry. I mean, anything that you can buy, and people will make a business, and that's what we consider. That's what I consider a gift market. People can go to shop. They're paying to get in, and they're there to shop.
Okay, so they're paying to get in. So so people are committed to going, first of all. So you can get more of an accurate feel for how many people are there. That helps, right? So how do you decide inventory wise how much to take?
I fill the trailer up.
Well, all I do is get the dice out and I roll them and see what number comes up. I don't. It's truly. I mean,
I'll answer. We take as many as we can, as many as I can make, because I never know if I'm going to have a show where I sell 10 or a show where I sell 70, and there have been those extremes. So
That's amazing.
To be prepared. You have to be prepared, because there was one show we did in the fall. We almost did. So you have to be prepared. Now I understand everybody can't make 100 wreaths to take to a show, but you have to be able to gauge, like, okay, I know that this will sell. I know that this will sell. If I can only take 20 or 25, I need to pick my best 20 to 25 wreaths for the theme for the holidays. But we take as many as we can. We never know when we're gonna have a great show.
Do you have several price points on your wreaths? Are there several price points, or you just go the small and the Texas size?
Yep, that's it.
That's it. Two sizes, two prices.
Okay. Okay. So there's that too.
In the fall, sometimes we have some showstoppers. I didn't make any showstoppers this year. I didn't have time.
Okay. Darn. But you did. But you had a good show season, yes?
Yes. So
That's amazing.
I do want to address one question that came over in our chat. Connie, with Evelyn and Eleanor Floral asked, have you had people message you and tell you your items are gorgeous, but wow, they're too expensive. You know, not truthfully, we did have a couple at the beginning, that said, it's just a little more than what I'd like to pay. But you got to keep in mind that everyone's going to have that, you know, sweet spot of a price. They might have a little more time that they're accounting for. They have a more material cost depending on who they buy it from. And so everyone's different prices of it. But, when you have florals, I mean, they get expensive. I mean, ask Lindsay. I mean, the florals are expensive. So, I mean, if they want it, they're going to buy it. So we haven't had anyone just message us outright and say, oh, you're too expensive. It's not that way. And Miss Lindsay agrees with me. So,
Because it's true. Because it's very, very, very true. All right. So, still sticking with business, let's talk about building different revenue streams. Something that you do in order to have that consistent income, so to speak. Like, what do you suggest for small wreath makers or small businesses maybe to think about having different revenue streams?
well, I would say do this. At least perfect one or two things and be good at it. Don't try and find the magic formula for making money or pulling in income or bringing in revenue because, the more you split your focus up, are you going to be good at signs? Are you going to be good at wreaths? Are you going to be good at materials? Are you going to be good at tumblers? Are you going to you see people trying to figure out what the magic solution is. Focus on one or two things in perspective and then find out what would complement that for your business and your situation and move towards that and keep your focus on what you're doing. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. That's the biggest thing. I mean, we have competitors in every marketplace. We have different, be it the signs, be it the materials, or be it wreaths. I mean, we have competition out there in every way. I'm not focused. We're not focused on what they're doing. We're trying to focus on what works for us and what we want to do. If it doesn't work, we move to the next. We reevaluate. But as far as going back to competitor and competition, we know Scrappy Tech Guy. We know Miss Patricia. We know a lot of the wreath makers. We're just as competitive as everyone, but we support them as well. Miss Patricia, we reach out to her all the time and say, hey, if I have a custom, can you send it to you because or a custom sign. We're open to that, but focus on what you're good at. And revenue streams, focus on what you can do to complement what you do. That way, it's not such a far spread.
But I think it's also, revenue streams can do this also. So you can have, say you just make wreaths. Or you can have an Etsy shop where you're trying to sell your wreaths. You can open a Shopify. You can sell in local boutiques. You can sell to friends and family. You can sell at craft shows. Those are also revenue streams if you're just selling one type of item. Whereas we sell multiple different revenue streams. There is ways that if you just make one item, maybe you just make crocheted hats. There's multiple places you can sell them without depending on one platform.
And that's you got Facebook Marketing, you got TikTok, you got Etsy, you got Shopify, you got there's any number of platforms. You have to really get on one and test it out for yourself. If it doesn't work, see what you're doing wrong, get some advice, listen to some other people like you see on Real Talk. We get the opportunity to say, not everyone's going to be successful on Etsy. And they get frustrated, either with shipping or too much, and, the price too high, I can't make any money. There's 100 wreath makers out there. you know, stand out. Make yourself stand out, but don't give up just because it doesn't work out. Reevaluate. It's like they say in the craft world or the gift market world. If you're not selling, at least making money, because some people say, I didn't sell nothing. Well, evaluate what you're doing, maybe how you're selling it or your price, because one of those things is steering people away. And that could be the whole Etsy store. Maybe you're too high priced. Maybe your shipping is not included. Which is a big thing for people, shipping. I mean, you got to devise a way to maybe you can add it into the price.
Maybe your photos aren't good.
Photos a big thing. If your photos are not good, people are like, well, I can't even see. I mean, you got to the lighting. I mean, any number of reasons why someone doesn't buy, but don't give up.
So change what you're doing. Change at least one thing of what you're doing. You will figure it out. Even if you just change one thing at a time. Don't change everything, because then you won't figure it out. Because I could imagine somebody going through and I'm like, okay, so I need to change my price, I need to change my this, and I need to change. No, change one thing and try that for a month. Give it time.
Yeah, change something about what you're doing, because what you're doing is not working. And if it's changing a picture, taking it down and relisting it with a different look to it, different lighting, try something.
All right, so as far as we're talking about revenue streams and stuff, how long do you give something a chance to grow? Like, you don't just give it a week or two, right? You give it a chance to grow. So how long would you say would be a good amount of time to see how long it takes for whatever you're trying to grow?
Well, I mean, I would say if you're not or don't see the results you want to see in a year, I would say, you got nothing grows overnight. I mean, it took us. We're still going at it like we started. I mean, success doesn't come overnight, and it depends on your situation, how much time and effort and money you want to put into the business. There is a difference between business and not really pursuing it and just want to do it on the side, as your side hustle.
But I will say that consistency has a lot to do with your success.
Absolutely.
So if you're only doing this part-time or once a week, you have to understand that your success is how much time you're putting into it too. So my definition of success may be different than yours. It has to do with consistency, really. I mean, I would say that was a big part of what got us to where we are. That we've been pretty consistent this past year on the things that we do.
Yeah, you can.
Daily.
There's one saying that I've always lived for, and I have to remind myself every night when it's 12:30 at night and I'm still drinking coffee. Is that I tell myself there was one time Steve Harden that said, you can't sleep 8 hours and be successful. And that's the truth. I mean, think about 8 hours a day. When you're sleeping 8 hours a day, when you're up for 8 hours a day, you can't really be successful. You got to push through the hard times. You got to be consistent. You got to show that you want it. You drive is there. That's what gets us through. I guarantee you, I'd rather be sleeping. I guarantee.
Isn't that the truth?
But I'm very concerned with time and stuff like that. I don't want us to become what Michelle didn't want, and that's to be waiting 2 weeks for waiting. I guarantee it. We are slowing down for the year. We've caught up with our stuff. If it comes in, I want to get out of this as fast as anybody. Same thing with the material. Look, there's people that might be depending on us to get that out to them quickly, and maybe they're waiting on a craft show, or maybe they got a customer, maybe Christmas is coming, they want to build a wreath for a gift. I don't want them waiting on our stuff. So that's kind of, and everyone has the Amazon mentality. It's like, oh, I ordered and I can get it next day. You know, that's not true with us. So,
Well, but
the little stuff,
that's true. But
yeah,
that's true. People want things faster than they realize it takes to make things. But that is a reality that we live in. That's the world that we live in. And you took Michelle's very real experience and you have incorporated that as an important part of your business and what you try to do for customers, which is what makes you stand out so much in our community. Is you not only give us quality, but you have speed, right? You have the ability to get things out rather quickly. I mean, I know that I receive things in a very timely manner from you guys, and I appreciate so much that you do that, knowing all the things that I knew about the background. So we're going to segue into that work-life balance. We're going to just go right into that since look at Greg's face. Since we're touching on the fact that it is a balance. It is something that we still, all of us, most of us struggle to figure out because there are things that take higher priority at different times. So if you guys want to go ahead and touch how you guys manage the balance.
oh, because I mean, really, it's a little bit from both of us, and working together has been one of the big balances that we had to learn even in the evening times when we have a husband and wife
Well,
that
and a 7-year-old
and a
who has
7-year-old
homework.
who has homework, and we're building a building that's still on the inside is not 100% complete. We're going to be better this year about getting out there. We got to get internet out there. But it truly is a work-life balance, and it's something that I struggled with, and we both struggle with, especially with our 7-year-old this last year because we were successful this year to the point where we wanted to make sure that we still did his homework. He still went to bed on time. We laid with him if he wanted to. If we wasn't feeling well, and it's like, well, mommy, can you come sit with me a little while? It's that work-life balance that we definitely starting tomorrow. No, starting tonight. We started a new tradition where we're doing game night with him. He's so excited about it. We're going to play games, and order pizza, and watch a movie. He wants to do everything, make popcorn, everything. He's so excited about that. But when it came to my work life, it was really tough. And I'll tell you, I've been with my company that I've worked with for 18 years now. And we not only were we building the building out there, we were moving our facility to a new building at work at the same time. They were building new products that were manufactured in a new place. Uh, you know, finding help there, doing work here, keeping an empty store, building the building, keeping up with a 7-year-old. It really took a toll. And gift market started in August this year. So there wasn't much balance for me. And I made the food and said, hey, you know what? I think maybe it's time to focus on the business, maybe retire. And my company was gracious enough to say, hey, you know what? We're not ready for you to do that. Would you consider working from home, doing some reduced roles, to be the product manager for the product that we manufacture that I've manufactured for years? It was great because we just need more, the work market out there is tough. So, it was a balance that we both felt was the right move for us, and it afforded us more time for our business, family, each other. The one thing I will say about working with Michelle is, if you're a family-based business and you're a small business, one thing that you still have to balance a little bit is both of us come from a management background, and both of us are
Both of us want to be the manager.
both of us want to be the manager. So you got to understand that we are it's about that we are getting better. Yeah. So yes, there's always a challenge. There's always
It's that type A personality, right? It's that type A personality. That is what I feel is part of your success though, is because you both have that drive. you both have that go get it, let's do this together, let's make something of this, let's be, be our own bosses. I mean, that's why people do take something that they enjoy doing and make it into a business, is because we want to be able to do things that we want to do with our families, with our time, that we enjoy. So is there ever been a moment in these last few years that you basically looked at each other and go, what the heck were we thinking?
We ask ourselves that every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, we said, we do look at ourselves and say, we enjoy the business part. We enjoy building something for ourselves, and even for our son. He saw the advertisement. I did the little TikTok video to promote the real talk, and he's like, I showed it to him. He goes, "Where am I?" I said, "Well, you're not in the video. You're going to be at school." Aw. he wanted to be in the TikTok video. But,
so he wants to be included.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So he wants to be part of what mom and dad are doing.
Absolutely. So, there's always that opportunity that we look at ourselves and say, God, did we really think it was going to be this tough? Because everyone thinks, oh, I want to own my own company. I can be off when I want. Okay, you don't do that. You are every part of your business and plus it. That you all the other companies that you work for have some of the answers, your phone, email, marketing, all that stuff that you do now. You're the only one that can get blank. So you've got to take it for what it's worth. Did we think it was going to go as well as it has? No. But we work hard every day to keep it going.
So we've had a lot of people support us. And the people know who they are. They've shared our lives. They've promoted us. They've it's been endless.
Yeah, I mean, our any success that we have, we can't honestly do with y'all. I mean, and Courtney and you, Claudia, and I mean anyone. I mean, even comes to John, the crappy fat guy who was pushing us to get to 1,000 people at one point. Just everyone who shared. I mean, we it is truly an amazing community, and think of that's why we do what we do. It really is, because that's why we want to give back. And I know Lindsay, he texted me about your night of giving back, and in it. I haven't answered you yet, but I promise I will.
Oh yeah, the Night of Blessings. Yes, the Night of Blessings. That's the 15th. December 15th is the Night of Blessings. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. So, question for you. When you are starting out, when you are starting your business, you have to be strategic, right? You have to have some kind of strategy or some kind of thing that you're doing in order to build your business on a platform. How the heck did you decide, hey, Southern Owls, this Courtney girl, how yeah, how did that, because I know there was a conversation. There had to have been a conversation where you guys saw something and said, we need to get with Courtney.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember. So here's how I'll start with Courtney. I remember it was a Saturday morning. Now I'd watched one of her. I remember it was TikTok and Instagram at the time. She had a video out, and I thought it was hilarious. It was the one where I guess some customer hadn't paid or something like that. And she's like, "I'm getting it. I'm taking my time. I'm thinking about it, or whatever." But I laughed at it, and I started following her, and then it was one Saturday morning. We got the infamous Etsy chink. Everyone loves the chink.
Everybody loves it.
Everyone. And so she ordered early in the morning one morning, and at the time it was our biggest order. And I'm like, wow, I'm gonna go look her up, and sure enough, it was Courtney. And so we had just got to talking about it, and made an effort to contact her and say, hey, you'd be interested in. Oh no,
she did an unboxing.
She did an unboxing. That's what it was. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She did an unboxing for it, and that kind of started a little chain reaction of people doing unboxings. You were one of them. I remember watching yours when you did an unboxing, and so that's how that all started. Really, I mean, it was by happenstance that she lives in Damon, Texas, close to us, and so it was chance happening, and same thing with Lindsay. And she said, "I found y'all through Courtney." Courtney was the key, truly for a little of our success, and Lindsay as well, because they have done an excellent job, you know, pushing our product because we do work hard at giving them the best product. It didn't matter if it was late at night. I want to make sure they get their stuff. They like their stuff. I will say this about going back to the sign making. If there's an imperfection in the sign, we won't fix it. And as you learn how to do signs, there's definitely some learning curves with it. It's good in the sign business, but I would not send out anything that I wouldn't want on our roof, and that's kind of the way we take into account with our customers. You're paying good dollars for it. We're not going to send you something that we would for. So that's how the Courtney thing.
Well, I know that I learned about you through Courtney.
Yeah.
That is how I learned about you. And the thing was, for me, the one that made you stand out for me, and I'm speaking from personal experience, is you treat every single customer the same way. There is nobody that gets any different treatment from you. You treat everybody as if they were Michelle.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
we feel that. Just know your community feels that. I know for one that I feel that you treat me as if I was your sister, your cousin, like I'm family. Like you're like, she needs this, I want to get it out to her. So thank you for that, because that is the extra that you guys offer in this, and I am hugely appreciative for that. So question for you, just because it's something that I've experienced from other people that make signs. Several sign makers actually stamp the back of their sign with their business name on it.
won't do it.
Okay, but here's why I'm asking. Now, for the wreath maker, the back of the wreath, the sign can be seen, right? So as a wreath maker, if you are a sign designer and you're stamping your name right smack in the middle of the back of the sign, I'm not going to buy from you. Just letting you know, I will not buy from you, because I want the customer to know that I made the wreath and I'm your customer. You're making the signs. I get that you want me to know where I got my sign from. I write it on the plastic things that you guys said. I write it on there so that I can share when I'm making my design and somebody asks me, where did you get your sign? I know where I got my sign, and that's how I'm going to share it. So that's just a tidbit from me as a buyer of your products. Thank you for not stamping the back of your signs.
We don't do that because I don't want to have to remove it or try to remove the label either. It's hard. It doesn't come off.
No, it doesn't. It does not come off. All right, is there any questions on your side right now?
I think Lindsay had a question.
No, that was just a mistake. She loves Greg and Michelle so much.
No, that's not.
Oh no, that's not what it said. So.
There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love coming to you guys from over here. Several people are like, I learned about you through Lindsay. I learned about you through Lindsay and Courtney. So just know that we will always support you, always, because of how supportive you are to us. All right, so we're going into future plans for Creek Road Designs. So you have this secret collab thing happening that we are huge fans of, just so you know. Huge fans of this secret collab thing happening. And I know that you guys have shared when people say, hey, how often are you going to be doing this? So let's talk about how that came about, just the idea behind it. You know, how long will you be doing this? Okay, and you don't have to share who you're sending it to because obviously that's the secret part. But let's talk a little bit about that, the secret collabs.
So we were getting, because like I said, we kind of played behind the eight ball all year long with sign making and getting everything loaded into Etsy, learning all that stuff. And we did a couple collaborations with Courtney and Lindsay at one time, and and so we were getting some collabs ready. And I said, well, for the cut, when it's for Christmas. And I said, Michelle said, you know what? I'm just gonna send it to Courtney. I'm not gonna tell her I'm sending. I'm just gonna send it to her.
It had been on my schedule for a while. Let me just say that.
Yeah, and so I said, you know what we should do? I said we should just tell her she can't open it until live and make it a game. And I said, it would be so much fun because at Christmas time, who doesn't love a special surprise? And everyone wants to know what's in it. Everyone wants to know what's in it. What's in it? It will tune in just to see what's in it. Did I miss it? Did I miss it? It's funny because I know at Christmas time I like those things. So it became that to Courtney, and then I said, well, why don't we get everyone involved and say the next thing is hey, let them decide what the next design will be. Let them pick from a certain thing, but they have to do it on the line, and they get to vote on it. So then the next that's going out Monday um, will be the theme. I think they picked Valentine's, but there's going to be a quiz at the end, and it's going to be a special quiz that uh, they won't know. Whoever they won't know what the quiz is until we tell them. And so it makes it even more interesting. But that's how it all came about. Is we were just going to send it out there and not even worry about, if you cared.
But here's a question for you. Is it going to be different every time? Is there always going to be a little bit something different each time?
We don't know because that's what we like about it is we try to make it a little different each time and think of something out of the ordinary because as we start moving through the people that we have in mind to select for this, it might be different based upon their business style and what they present. So we don't know until the next one comes. We have a list of people that we want to send these to and experiment with, and then say, well, what if we did this with this one, and tried this? It makes it just a fun game. It really is because, I've watched collaborations that y'all have done and everyone industry have done, and it's kind of fun to see what everyone can build and all that, but it's even better when they don't know what they're building. And it gives that little bit of interest.
Well, it makes it intriguing. It makes it fun for the audience as well as for you guys. I mean, it's got to be exciting for you guys to see the reactions and the response and all the things that happen for this. I have several people going, how do you get on that list? I mean, I have, everybody loves Happy Mail. How do you get on the list? I want to do one, all of these things. So the question I have now is, have you already chosen your people? Has that already been set in mind? You already know who you're going to ask. Do you need people? How do you do that? How do you go about that?
We already know the next 3. And then the way that you are able to be a contender is that you have to have purchased something from us on Etsy. I have to have your address so it can be a surprise.
Because if they haven't bought from them, we don't know where you are.
So basically, that's how they get their people. Is you have to be a customer.
And you have to go live.
Yeah.
You have to go live.
And you have to be okay. Do you have to have a certain number of following, a certain number of people on your lives? Does that matter?
Not necessarily. I mean, not. I mean, obviously, you know, if you got 1,000 followers online, I mean, that. I mean, I'm looking for. Here's what I look for. I look for how well you communicate with your viewers. You know, because that's important. You can't sit there and design what we send you and never talk and never interact with them and hate talk. But, you know, it's very important. Very important that you talk because if you notice how Courtney and Lindsay do their collaborations, they're explaining what they're doing. They look at these ribbons, the colors. Look how this. What do y'all think about this? You know, it's that kind of collaboration that is truly what it's for. It's for people who can sit there and look at what you're doing and get ideas, and it brings to light just a better atmosphere. So it's not necessarily the number of viewers; it's how well you are collaborating with not only us but your viewers.
All right, I don't know if you guys saw my cheat. I don't know if you guys saw what I did. I cheated. I took what Courtney did.
Oh,
I purchased the items and then I created my design and stitched it all the way across because I wanted to explain to people collaboration purposes, exactly what you just said. You know, you want people to see the items. You want them to understand the quality, the why you get this sign with these ribbons, you know, all of those things that people struggle with. People always ask, how do you create a design? So the collaborations to me is a teaching point. It's teaching people how to pick items that go together, that will look good in a design. But everybody's design is going to be different. So that was my cheat. So anybody that sits there and goes, how can I get part of this? How can I be part of this? Guys, use your imagination. We are all creative. We are all creative. You can take something and create something and still promote the people that you enjoy, which I love Michelle and Greg so freaking much, and I love their company so freaking much, that I will do whatever it takes to put them out there, to keep them in business, because I need them to stay in business. Okay, so you've got to do the things that you want to keep the people that are small businesses. You want to keep them in business because of the support that goes both ways.
The other part of that is in these collaborations is that, you know, we send you some basic products that we carry. Be it the sign, maybe it has a mesh, maybe it's just a ribbon, maybe it's a kit that we put together that gives you the start, and then you make it your own. Courtney and Lindsay would put some more stuff in it, use a different ribbon. We have those for a reason, and that's because we're giving you some things we want you to use, but make it your own. Make it for you.
Yep.
Be successful. That's what we like.
So make it something that reflects your style, how you are as a designer, which is another thing that I love about you guys. So that's a little bit on the secret collabs. You had mentioned Shopify. You had mentioned that that's something that you're going to be focusing on. So talk a little bit more about that.
So our Shopify page is what we started with. You know, it started where we said, you know, I will say the very first thing that we did as business owners, and Michelle started all this, aside starting the LLC, is the first thing she did was find the web address because we wanted to get it out there and get it before figure out what we were going to name it and how. No one want, in my opinion, there's not a lot of people who want to say something design company and all.com. You know, it has to be quick. People just like something quick, you know, and so we chose creekroad.net because Tom was taken. And so I said, Creek Road, Creek Road, Creek Road. If you say it enough times, you'll remember Creek Road, Creek Road. So that's how that came apart. And then, you know, so we got the web address, and then we went to Shopify and said, look, we're going to open the Shopify account, set it up, because it's pretty kind of plug and play for the most part. You can get different templates and add what you want, show what you want. And we started with that, and we got some success with success, but we wanted more. We wanted to keep building on it. And so the challenge came when Etsy jumped on last year, and it's like when you're having to load it to two different sites, it makes it different. So now they have apps where you can do everything all at once. So if you have it on this platform, you can funnel it to the next platform. So that's the goal for this year. We'll carry the majority of what we want on Etsy, and we'll have most everything we want on our Shopify. And so it gives us some flexibility there.
Now you guys have a link tree, right? You guys have the links where there's several links, and that's on your TikTok where people can go look to see all the areas you're at,
Yeah.
where they can find you.
So generally, when it comes to especially our shows for Wreath, we publicize that on our Facebook. But our link tree has, our Facebook page, our TikTok, Etsy, Instagram, all that good stuff. But it gives our Shopify store and stuff like that. Now, we've kind of disabled the Shopify. You can still get it on there, and apparently you can still buy stuff on it. We don't know.
Please do not.
Yeah, don't buy stuff.
Don't buy on Shopify. You heard it here first.
We've had a couple of people orders come in like, I hope we got that inventory because, someone's buying it and I don't know how because I can't even see it. I don't know how.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
That's a little nerve-wracking. Luckily, everything they bought we had. So it's a good and bad thing. But once we get, the goal is that, now that our slow season's coming, it's like, okay, we're going to concentrate on our Shopify store. We're going to move everything from our Etsy to our Shopify, so that way it gives people two options to buy. If they, I will say this about the two platforms. Everyone complains about the fees of Etsy, and no one loves the fees, but it puts you in front of so many people all at once. It's worth it. Now we advertise on Etsy. We advertise for $1 a day. Every day. It's $1. And it whether it gets you out there or not, it'll let you know. And what's $1 a day? It's less than a cup of coffee in today's time. And so, you advertise there, you push your stuff, you're on your Facebook and stuff like that. It gives you a platform. Whereas Shopify, you have to drive the traffic there. Nobody knows Freak Road Dotson, and they don't know you from Adam, and you have to drive the fees. The fees for Etsy put you out there, get you in front of you, give you a better opportunity at the start. It's up to you to drive your traffic, because no one's going to come looking for Freak Road. And to be honest with you, if you're a customer on Etsy, you feel a little bit more secure that you're not just out there giving it to a company that makes it. Gives you a little more freedom before you're buying. Until you're known. Until not everybody knows Freak Road Dotson. One day they will, hopefully, and it will be a platform that they trust. That they say, oh yeah, I bought from them before on Etsy. It gives you a little more freedom.
Well, that and your sales show. So how many people have shopped with you shows, your reviews show, all of those things count towards that. And let me tell you, it is not easy to get that star seller, guys. You have to be on it.
Oh yeah.
We want to share with you something. We did a big milestone over the weekend on our Etsy shop. We hit 10,000 sales.
I know. I'm so happy. Woo! Yay! That is so freaking exciting.
So stay tuned because we got something special.
Well, it cracks me up because I'm like, woohoo! I hit 50, and you guys are like, I hit 10,000. I'm like, we're at different levels.
Yeah, so on our side, our 10,000 sale is in our chat.
In our chat,
Connie from Ellen and Eleanor Explorer, and
that's awesome.
So that morning we had contacted her and said, you know what, we're going to do something special because literally she put us over the hump, and I said, you know what, Michelle goes, look, we're going to send her something special. So we're sending her, I think, 4 times.
She got to pick.
She got to pick 4 times that she wanted because it was exciting for us. And Michelle's been been excited for that milestone.
I've been watching the number.
I bet you have. I bet you, because honestly, guys, it's goals, right? So everybody in your business, you need to set achievable goals. Okay, don't set unrealistic goals because you will disappoint yourself. Okay, so set realistic goals. This is important for every business. So be realistic in your goals. Guys, I am so excited you guys hit 10,000 sales. Now, here's the thing for me. What made it huge for me was when I got sales through Etsy and I wasn't driving those sales.
Yeah.
That's when I felt like that means Etsy's pushing me out.
And that's the exciting part. Things that what you're doing is working. And I will go back to something you said there earlier that I will for every business owner. You know, Michelle and I, we just sat down last week and said, I want you to put 5 goals for 2024 on, and I will put 5. We're going to go over them and put them on paper and put something together on a list. You know, we the first set of goals we had is still marked in our on a piece of paper in our cabinet. That way, when we open it, we look at it, see it, make them obtainable. Don't put it out there that you want to, do this, because I guarantee you, we didn't start off, thinking we're gonna grow this business with, multi-million-dollar business. It's never been our goal. We're not multi-million. But what I'm saying is make them obtainable for your business. Set a goal, and as you achieve them, you'll feel better about the success and gives you more drive. It's important.
And celebrate them, guys. Celebrate the smallest goals. Always celebrate them because they are celebratable. It took a lot to get there.
Oh, absolutely. And I will say this about, anything else is that, you work hard at it and you continue to work, you'll be successful. We have never, I have a vendor at my regular job. I talk to him all the time. He's got his own business up in Utah, and I talk to him. He says, how's the Etsy store doing? I said, I'm doing great. He says, anything you set your mind to, you can achieve. I guarantee you, just work hard at it, keep working at it, and you'll be successful. That's the best advice I can give you, aside from don't focus on what everyone else is doing. Focus on what you're doing and what's good for you. That's all you need to matter about. Because in the end, nobody's going to care what they want except for you. And you're going to be in second place because you're focused on her. So,
that's good advice. That's great advice. Michelle, did you have anything to add?
No. He said it all.
He said it all. He said it all. So I have a couple of questions. You went from signs to ribbon. Are you adding anything else? And if you don't want to share, that's okay.
Yeah, we're adding some stuff.
But it may not be on Etsy. It may be on Shopify.
Yeah. And
Okay.
I will just leave it at that. There are a couple new things that we're adding this year on both sides of either sign making or ribbon. And I'll just leave it at that.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Like I said, only answer what you're comfortable with. I'm really okay with you're not comfortable with answering certain things. I get that. So my question though is kits. Will you be offering more kits coming in 2024?
Oh, yeah. That's the thing that we're looking at for market. So our plan is to have each season have a certain amount of kits so we can buy them. Now, we don't know when it's going to start because we haven't gone to market for a kit. We did some in the spring for this next spring season, but again, it's graduating up to that part where we're going to put together what we can, and even if there's an amount of them, and say, because, when you're buying cases of ribbon, how many cases does it take to add up to the number of kits that you're going to have? So the money climbs quickly. So as we graduate to that, we have looking at kits that we planned for this year. So come fall, September, October, when we come March, January, we'll put kits together for next season at this time. So that's the goal. Yes, we will have more kits. We will have more available. How many, we don't know yet.
Okay, so you're trying to stay ahead of the curve rather than chasing it like you've been. I get it. No, I understand. But the reason why I ask is several times when creators go live, you see a lot of questions that are in the chat of, how do I get started? I don't even know where to start. What do I need to buy? How much do I need to buy? And because so many of us jumped in head first, we made a lot of mistakes in doing that, right? That we want to actually tell people, don't do what we did because this is the mistakes that we made. But if we could send somebody somewhere to say, hey, start out with this kit, and this kit was used by this person, go see how they did it, that type of thing. I think that would be something helpful for both the new wreath maker, the designer that's making the kit, which is what I want to do. Just saying, I want to make the kit so that I can then tell people, hey, buy the kit here and follow the tutorial here, that type of thing.
Kit?
What?
You want us to send you a kit?
I'm just saying that's what I want to do. That is in essence what I want to do, is then send people, say, hey, this is where you get the stuff, this is where you get the kit, and this is where you watch to learn how to make it. That I think would be something beneficial for the person who's starting, because that's something I struggled with when I started. I'm like, yeah, I can watch people make it all day, but I don't know where they get their material. I don't know where to buy that stuff. I don't know where to get it.
You know, the biggest part of the collaboration series is learning kind of what we send out to a lot of different people. Is, you know, the kit is how we started this. You know, and say, hey, we'll just put some ribbons that Michelle thinks looks good together, to put together with one of our signs and send it out and see how it goes. And they can do it however they want. Now, you know, the wreath frame we'll probably never really get into, because, you know, they're so big to ship. They cost so much and it adds too much to it. When most people will have a frame or go to a dollar store and get their own frame or do it however they want to do it. You know, ultimately it's the ribbons that they want to use with a match or something like that that people really want to know. You know, they don't.
Right.
You know, it's not secret. You know.
Right, and I agree with that. And I've also learned that making the designs on both the raised wreath form as well as the flatter one gives you a different depth of that same wreath, and gives people ideas of how many different places and how many offerings they can do, because we have storm doors here. We have storm doors, and people always talk about the fact that the wreaths that they like, the ones that they're like, I wish I had the door that would work with that, because they don't want to put it on the outside of the door. The wind comes through and literally wreaths will be flying. They'll be just flying down the road.
See, that's something that we thought about adding to, like Michelle said earlier, a different style that's a different price point in our shop this year for wreath, because we get people, I probably want to fit through my storm door. You know, well, everything in Texas is bigger, including their wreath. So you know,
And their doors sometimes.
and the door,
Big
and the
doors.
door. So you know, it is a style, because, you know, I watch you do those pixie wreaths or the what's the one for the black?
Their pancake. Mm-hmm.
So those are things that, if you're a wreath maker out there and you're trying to figure out what you can do, maybe lower the price point or bring in different stuff, bring some of those in, you know, get those on there. You know, 'cause that's, again, some things that we don't offer, but a lot of people need.
Right, and that's why being aware of your community and listening, like Greg and Michelle have said, listen to your customers. They will tell you what they want. You have to be prepared to listen, and don't just one and done it. Michelle says give a show 2 times. Check it out twice. It might have been a fluke the first time. It didn't work out the first time, but the second time might be your golden egg. You just never know. So is there anything else coming down the pike for you guys in 2024 that you'd like to share?
Well, other than the only thing I can think about, obviously, is we want to finish our building. There's a cut when I say finish our building, you know, we're getting all the racks up, we're putting stuff where it should go. I haven't even shown y'all what we've done since then. We've been busy with just people. But once we get internet out there, we plan to do more lines. Kind of show. We want to show y'all what we got for the spring. I mean, there's some good, nice new ribbon that we picked out last year that we were like, oh, I'm picking this one. I'm picking this one. This is gonna be mine because I really like it. I really like it. I want to see if my style's any good. But as far as new stuff, it's going live more obviously. Going live as a snack, or tickets, stuff like that. People that may want to see that, and then showing you what we do on a daily basis. But building out, we got a couple things, a couple ideas planned. I won't say anything more than that. There's a couple that kind of lead to some fun for the viewer.
Okay.
I won't go into more than that because
That's fine. I can see you're fighting with yourself. Don't fight with yourself. Just decide that you're not going to say anything. Don't fight with yourself. Leave us guessing. Leave us guessing. So somebody in my comments says, I love to watch lives with new products. It's nice to see it live, not just a picture. So we look forward to seeing you guys go live more. And I have a tidbit for going live at shows. If you have no internet access, video anyway as if you are live and post it after you get, because people want to see. So it doesn't matter if you can't go live, just post a video after the fact. So just do that, because I mean it helps, and anything you can do to get yourself out there to show what you're doing is what we're intrigued by. We know that social media has basically taken over TV time for a lot of us.
we don't watch,
Right?
yeah, we don't watch.
Because you can't make time for it. It doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the mold. So we spend more time on social media. So if it benefits us, if we're learning from it, if we are, learning our craft, and learning more about it, then we are more inclined to say, hey, Creek Road's on. Let's go see what they're doing. Let's see if they're unboxing. And announcing prior to the fact so people can know when you're going live is important, I've learned. So definitely let people know when you're going live. Something's happening over on your chat.
Get it right. Especially about, I always kind of forget about just videoing it and making a video out of it rather than going live. And I need to do, that's some of the things that we definitely want to improve on this year as part of our goals. One is going live or doing videos or doing social media of it. I've tried to do a little bit more here lately, but sometimes I think about even if I do go live, if I'm just cutting or cleaning up the area or something like. People do it all the time. I've watched people clean their craft rooms and straighten up stuff, and people watch. They don't want to watch TV. They just watch social media.
Now, Michelle, this question is for you because I know our audience wants to know. Is there a plan for you to go live?
In the future.
Okay, in the future. Okay, so we should be looking for in the future from Michelle. So I don't know what that means or how far in the future. So we're not going to give her a hard time. But are you willing to share how many wreaths you made this season?
We sold over 600.
Excuse me?
For the whole year.
That's 600. Guys, do the math. Do the math really quick. That's goals for me. But she is not only craft show tired, right?
Right.
How are your fingers? And your wrist and your hands?
No, I think it's just they've gotten used to it. My hands don't hurt like they used to.
That's interesting, isn't it? You've got muscles. Okay, so I'm going to sound a little bit extra here for a second. I go see a massage therapist. I've been going for 10 years. Kevin and I found that was something important for us 10 years ago, that we needed to go get monthly massages, so we did that. My massage therapist a year and a half ago told me, you've got muscle. You have muscles. And I'm like, are you saying I'm getting buff from wreath making? So she's like, I can feel the muscle growth in your arms. And I'm like, oh, this is crazy. This is nuts that I'm gaining muscle. I have people in my chat going, wow, 600. Guys, she started in 2021. I don't have to do the math for you. She started in 2020. I'm just recapping. Started in 2021. In 2022, her season got busy and she realized that she couldn't wait for signs to order and get delivered to her. Hence comes in Greg. Greg, I need help. I need signs. So Greg starts making signs. 2023, their Etsy store has 10,000 sales. It didn't happen overnight. There's a lot of work ethic and hustle to it. They've been strategic in their business. They've adjusted accordingly to what they see works and what doesn't work. And they're a team. Guys, it matters to have somebody supporting you. You only need one person supporting you. Only need one person supporting you. And you are your own competition. You do not compare yourself to others. Those have been my takeaways from this. Do not compare yourselves to others. Don't watch what other people are doing. Be your own business. Be your own designer. Do your own thing. That's what people are going to enjoy about you. Greg and Michelle, any parting words?
Just thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to tell people what what we experience. It may not be the same that they do, but at the same time, don't sell yourself short. Keep working because there are a number of hours that went into that number of getting there, and a lot of losses. Don't give up on the first loss. Don't give up on the second loss. If you're passionate about it, work to improve and learn from the people in the community because that's who we learn from. That's how we started, and that's how we're going to end it. And we want if we can be of help. I know personally. I've had not only on the sign side, but on the wreath side, people reach out to me and ask us questions about shows, about sublimation, about even helping a person say, hey, can you print this sign for me because my feet's pressing? Not a problem. I mean, we're here to help. That's the one thing I will say about the community. Everyone wants to, be a winner and all that good stuff. That's great. But share a little bit of what you have been afforded to help somebody.
And I'll say this, my journey and our journey is different than everyone else's. So don't compare our chapter 24 to your beginning chapter 20. So that's the advice that I can give. We're in a different place than someone who started 2 months ago.
Absolutely.
Just keep learning. That's all you can do, really. Don't give up.
So I've got a "We love you all. Don't stop. The community needs you" from Reese by Juani. She says, "Don't stop. We love you guys." And then Kevin literally crawled in here to drop off a note that says, "Future plans? Any cool vacations coming up?"
I think there's actually, to tell you this truth. So there is a vacation coming up before our vacation in April.
Is that not the cruise?
June? Yeah, the cruise.
It's in July.
July. I just.
You're fine. You'll be there. She'll get you there. It's fine.
Don't worry about it. But we're taking a few days off. Michelle's birthday is the beginning of the year. We're taking two. It's your first and lady guy. And we're doing something special for her to celebrate. We're going to Utah with her son, taking him out there to see some real snow, real weather, and getting away for a little while. It's been a busy year. We deserve it. We'll just extend our sick times a little bit and make sure that happens. But guarantee we're going to try and show our son a good one. Because ultimately, it's all for him. This is why we do it. Make sure that he gets a positive role model and knows that he can do it.
So I have a. Go ahead.
In July.
Yeah, we will see you in July.
Yeah, we'll see each other in July. I cannot wait. So I have a couple of questions. Where can people buy and see Michelle's wreaths?
that's the Shopify page that we don't. So we started off showing the wreath and doing the wreath and all that good stuff on Shopify, and then we moved into signs and ribbon and stuff like that. But
And I have been terrible. I have not posted a wreath probably since April. Isn't that terrible?
yeah,
I don't know what that's like, Michelle, but good for you. And you still sold 600, so you're doing something right.
but we do 22 shows a day. You know, there's half a year of weekends going, and sometimes during the week. Some of our shows are during the week, which is crazy. But we go shopping during the week. Yeah, it happens. And just know that we're gonna work on that part of the business.
All right, guys. So coming up next week, I have Cindy joining me from Timbercraft. She's going to come and have a conversation with me. And then on the 29th, I have Needy from Crafty Jeans joining me at the end of the month. So I have one date available, the 22nd. I still have open, but we'll still have Real Talk, even if it's just me, guys. So just stay tuned. This episode will actually be posted on YouTube, so you'll be able to rewatch it on Monday. This coming Monday, I'll have it posted and up and ready to share so that you guys can watch this conversation back. Guys, do you have anything else to add?
Only that we appreciate everybody, and that none of the success we've had would be without you. That's telling you the John. Everyone really wants to be there for everybody, and I appreciate that. We couldn't have done it without. So we thank y'all and continue.
Well, we love you guys so much. Keep doing what you're doing, and if you need to rest, we'll let you rest. We will. Just for a little while, we'll let you rest. All right, guys. We'll see you soon, okay?
Thank y'all.
Bye. And unbox those things quickly. The spring is here. We need the stuff. Okay, all right. So get busy. Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.